What's going on, people? I figured today, I talk about something that was on my mind, and I think I should, share it and see, hopefully it helps somebody, dealing with this topic because, you know, and this is more for like fathers, right? Because we go through a lot of stuff, right? And you could like let's just say, let's use this for example, right? Say your child is 17 years old, right? And you raised him until he was probably, let's just say 14, let's just say 13, you know what I'm saying? But we had to like so, and when life happens, right? And say you wasn't the best person for a few years, a couple years, right? Sometimes kids can forget all that, all that and all the unconditional love you have for them, the love that you still have for them, or always have for them. Sometimes they might feel certain ways where, just because you wasn't the best, father, I could say, in the last couple years or whatever, they can forget that all the other stuff. So, and it's not, they have the they have the right to feel that way because like I said, like life is an individual journey, right? And there's a lot of things that you have to learn that may be different from what I have to learn, because whatever God has for you, you have to learn certain lessons to get you better before you get to that point. So some of the lessons may be different from person to person, right? But one thing that I that a conversation with one of my kids made me remember is that I dealt with the same thing with my father. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, there was times where I maybe felt certain ways about my father, and certain things about our relationship and certain things. But as you grow, you grow from that. You get past that, and you forgive and you talk, and if you like, and sometimes in the heat of the moment when you're going through those things, you might say some things, they might say some things, even though you don't mean them. As always, since you said them, you want to make them know that that if I said something to hurt you or whatever, please forgive me. And that's not what I meant, because I intentionally love people. But me, like I said, me and my father spoke about that, and we got past that, and that's the only thing that really matters. I think that's the best thing to do, is like, if you can get past something, just get past it, because you have to get past certain things to grow, to develop as a person, as an individual, and move on. So I thought that was very important that me and my father got to speak and put a lot of things behind us. And so sometimes when you start to deal with that with your kids, I put this thing together, and I thought it was real interesting because sometimes you could resort back to certain things like this and situations and learn from them, and or see what somebody else who was dealing with that, you can see it from their perspective, right? So I'm gonna read this to y'all. So it says fatherhood, and I explained that with my dad and my kids, right? And then it says some stuff I messed up was personal choice, and that's real. Like, a lot of the stuff that happened was my own doing, and there's a lot of other factors, but for right now, I'm just gonna stick to me. And so some of that stuff was my choice, yes. So, and then it was some of the stuff that was out of my control. Identifying from outside looking in, it could easily be all blamed on you, right? So, and what I mean by that is, right, sometimes when from the outside looking in, when people on the outside looking in don't really know what's going on in your life personally, right? It could be easily blamed all on one person. Why things went certain ways and stuff like that, and for a lot of us, right? When we get in that position, we like to defend ourselves and be like, oh no, that's X, Y, Z, right? But when you grow and develop, right, you understand that that's a phase, that's a stage. You understand? And the best thing you can do is accept it, own your part, and you move on. And you move on, and you get better. You understand what I'm saying? So it's easy. It's a lot of this stuff can get really deep, but once you start learning certain things, you can grow as a person, right? So repairing relationships or understanding that kids have to experience life, choices, and the emotions that go with those experiences. Sometimes when you're ready, someone else may not be. It is important to understand that. It is also important to understand that relationships will be mended if it's God's will, and if they are meant to be mended, it will be mended, but on God's time. So and let me say that. So sometimes, right, like, say you want to mend a relationship with somebody, or like your kids or whoever, and you know sometimes you get to the point where of understanding that you can move on and do what you need to do, because you're already, like, your arms are open every day you know what I'm saying? But it's really up to them to because it's their choice, it's their personal choice. You understand what I'm saying? And when they're ready and God puts it in their heart, then he'll mend it. So you have to have that mindset, like, it's okay, because when God puts it in their heart or whatever, they learn the lessons that they learn, you'll be right there. And, you understand? So it's important to understand that. So God's purpose for you, right? People won't understand. People may judge you until they begin to journey on the path God has for them. When they do, they will understand what others had to go through before them. That's the beauty and growth when the Lord is working on you, right? And so, sometimes you can't, you just because you moved on, or moved on, like, got smart, and you can't expect for everybody else to relate to you or to understand what you're talking about, or stuff like that. You just gotta accept that. You know what I'm saying? And do what you do, and the people who God, will network with you with in your path, they'll come when they come. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta focus on you. So I'm gonna use me as an example, right? People who know me know, like, and before these last few years or whatever, I always had cars, everything, like, you know what I'm saying? So people who know me know that, right? So yes, you can't be successful without the understanding that whatever you're doing may not be your purpose or what God called you to do, if He calls you. But when He calls you, and depending on what He has for you to do, you can experience a bumpy road. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's material stuff. You can lose that, right? I just want to make y'all understand something, right? You will learn life lessons. It's important to always remember to treat others with respect, and with the same as you will want to be treated, right? Because nobody, I repeat, nobody sits on a horse too high where the Lord can't make you realize that the one and only one who sits at the highest point of existence is the Father. All right, and that's in the Lord Jesus Christ's mighty name. And I'm just saying that because that's what I believe, and that's what I know is true. But loving your kids unconditionally, regardless of how they feel, if they are right or wrong, it don't matter. All right, so you don't want to get into a point where you're arguing with your kids like, no, I ain't do that, or I ain't make you feel like that. Just let them feel how they feel, right? Let them feel how they feel. And then when they're in a more mature state and they come to you, then y'all can have that heart-to-heart conversation. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you do that now, they're not in a mental or loving space to think further than how they feel. You understand what I'm saying? So it'll be a disaster if you do that now. But I do want to say this though. Before I started making videos and all this stuff, I did have a conversation with my kids. I did, own up for my mistakes, and I did ask them for forgiveness, and I made that plea before I started any of this. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, loving your kids unconditionally, regardless of how they feel, if they are right or wrong, it don't matter. I don't live in the past or judge people for past behaviors. People change, people grow, people mature. That's the beauty of life. You never stay in one place. And if you do, then there's something wrong. I mean, you need to constantly grow and learn and teach yourself. We also have to understand that because you have grown doesn't mean people will understand you, should treat you differently, or that they have changed. Allow God to work on that and have enough faith that everything will come full circle. And a lot of that stuff was on my mind yesterday, and I figured that I put that out, or at least make the video, so that way, because I know a lot of us out here deal with that issue, and sometimes it's hard to get a different perspective from somebody who's experiencing it. So listen, man, I hope this helps somebody. I hope this teaches somebody something, and good luck with everything on that topic, and salute.